So I've already touched on this in a previous video, but the video was supposed to be a short, but at the time I wasn't really doing shorts on my channel, so I didn't realize a short had to be less than a minute long. So I shot the video vertically, went over a minute, and it turned it into like a normal video. So I feel like it didn't do too well because people don't tend to watch vertical videos that aren't shorts because, you know, it does that weird crop thing. But this is, when do you ash your cigar? You know, I mean, you'll hear a lot of different stuff online, and it all boils down to you ash it when it starts to become a problem while you're smoking your cigar. Like right now, I have an ash on this cigar here. This is the 5 Vegas Gold, by the way. Very mild cigar, but kind of in a mild mood, I guess. Retraining my palate a little bit. Also known as the 5 Vega Gold. And this ash seems pretty strong. It's not bothering me. It's not bothering the cigar itself. I'm not in a competition, so I don't need it to go all the way down. I don't need it to be a huge ash. But I feel like it's so sturdy right now that if I tapped it off, it would actually not be good for the cigar because it wouldn't just kind of fall off. It would have to actually be tapped a little bit. So it's not really a nuisance to me. It's not bothering the cigar. If I was in a cigar lounge, I wouldn't be worried that someone's gonna be like, oh, look at that ash or whatever, you know, and it's that kind of thing. Like, the ash becomes a problem when you have to start smoking it like in a different way just to feel comfortable. That gets in the way of the smoking experience. You don't want to have to like keep your cigar up like this unless that's what you're trying to do. But if you're just casually smoking a cigar, see, I can wave it around, not feel like it's gonna fall. The other end of the spectrum, you don't want to be like OCD about the ash either. You don't want to just constantly every few puffs tap, 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 because then you're bothering the cigar in the opposite direction. The construction of the cigar could start to fall apart a little bit because you're being so abrupt with how the ash is doing. The ash actually helps the cherry stay lit, stay heated well. So you only really have to deal with the ash when it starts to become a little bit of an issue. When it starts to lose its ability to stay on pretty well, or when it starts to mess with how the cigar's functioning. You know, I wouldn't get too hung up on the ash. If you're a newer cigar smoker, I wouldn't get too hung up on when you should ash it or anything. Obviously, ash it before it falls off on your pants or shirt. I mean, that's happened to everybody, but you'll start to realize when that's a problem. This isn't a problem right here. This ash is holding strong. I don't have any problems with this ash. But I think it's important because I think as you smoke cigars, and as you've been doing it for years, you think less and less about what people experience when they first get into cigar smoking, like the weird things they worry about. So I kind of wanted to make a video for the newer cigar smokers, just specifically talking about the ash. Some of the functionalities of it, they serve to show how good the cigar was rolled, especially long filler ash. It can last, if you take care of it, you can actually smoke it down pretty well to the bottom without any problems, but that requires a specific way of smoking on your part, which, like I said, if you're casually smoking a cigar, you don't want to be in like a competition style way, because you have to start smoking the cigar straight up and you have to puff on it a certain amount to keep it lit and keep everything. But when the ash gets too big also, it becomes harder for the cherry to stay lit in a way. You kind of lose some flavor in the cigar because of the way it's just the way it is. The ash helps cool the cherry a little bit. So that's kind of what you gotta think about too. So now I'm starting to feel a little bit less confident in the ash here. I don't know if you can see it. You probably won't be able to, maybe. You'll start to see little holes right at the bottom of the ash where you can start to see like the cherry. And when those holes start to kind of open up a little bit, it's like, okay, the ash is starting to get a little bit too big and you can go ahead and ash it. Otherwise, no one's really looking at your ash. No one cares. You shouldn't care as much. Just enjoy the cigar. If you like this video, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.